right, ladies and gentlemen, this is the second match of the NBL1 game of the round. It's the Eltham Wildcats taking on the Kilsyth Cobras. It is the men's match, the second of the night, and it is 15th on the ladder, taking on 6th on the ladder. But don't worry about that, because what matters right now is that both sides need a win, because Kilsyth have lost their last 4, and Eltham have won their last 2. So I think this could just be a bit of an exciting encounter. My name is Tyson Whelan. I'm joined once again by Damien Arsons from Pick and Roll for what's set to be another exciting encounter. The first one tonight was a 2-point game in favour of Kilsyth in the end. They managed to hold off the late charge from Eltham, but this one, it's a clean slate for both sides, and Eltham come out looking to continue some hot form.
Well, there's only 2 wins separating either team on the ladder, so when you talk about ladder positions, there's not a lot in it at all. And look, this is an exciting lineup tonight for both teams. You know, that's stacked across the board. You know, you've got players with a huge amount of NBL experience. We talk about the previous game, some of those have got WNBL experience. Well, there's a few more guys running around in this one that have played NBL or the likes in their careers. And just look at the starting lineups. Kilsyth, Owen Adidji, Chris Patton, Peter Hooley, Isaac Turner, and Toey Smith-Milner. Now, 4 out of those 5 have all played NBL before.
Shula's done some good recruiting out there at Kilsyth.
And then Eltham, you got Justin Ava, Adam Doyle, who's another NBL player, Simon Bradbury, Josh Sykes. Now I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do tonight, and Jeremy McKay as well.
Yeah, a class side is the Kilsyth one, and equally Eltham bring in some strong talent, whether it is the likes of Adam Doyle, of course, played 4 seasons for the Adelaide 36ers in his NBL1 career. Josh Sykes, the high flyer, played in the G League over in the States, joined Eltham last season. Simon Bradbury's been around these parts for many of years. He knows his way around a basketball court. Jeremy McKay just came back from college. And so, yes, 2 very strong sides, and they will go head-to-head tonight in just a few moments' time.
And the key difference tonight could be depth, because we talk about NBL guys. Well, if you have a look, you've got Felix von Hoff, the captain, coming off the bench. And, of course, he's played in the NBL as well. Then you've got some really good talent coming off, the young talent. You've got McDonald, Wern, Willie as well. There's just they've got depth. They must be one of the deepest teams in NBL1 this year.
Worth noting as well, Eltham averaging 87.5 points per game, Kilsyth averaging 88.1 points per game, separated by less than a point in their average score. Should be a very exciting and hopefully a close encounter, because it is the NBL1 game of the round, and it is that for a reason. 2 crosstown rivals taking on each other. And as you mentioned, the starting 5 for both sides for Eltham coming out of the courts: Josh Sykes, Simon Bradbury, Justin Ava, Jeremy McKay, and Adam Doyle. And we look across, of course, at the Kilsyth side. Odigi, it's Toey Smith-Milner. Also got, of course, Peter Hooley. Also got out there on court as well, so I was just taking a moment to
Odigi, Patton, Hooley, Turner, Smith-Milner.
That's right. And yes, as I was just observing, a large crowd filing in here at the Eltham High School for what's set to be, as I mentioned, a very tough and hard-fought encounter between 2 strong sides, physically, mentally. And Eltham just the 1 game this weekend. Kilsyth take on Waverley tomorrow. Who can get over the top tonight? It is NBL1 action live from Eltham in Melbourne's northeast. We are underway. Josh Sykes, as he tends to do, wins the first possession for Eltham. Eltham haven't had the strongest of starts this season. Justin Ava trying from 3. Simon Bradbury gets an offensive rebound. They've come alive later in the games. Kilsyth 4-quarter efforts throughout the season. Josh Sykes looking to get an early score, taps it back up, can't get it to go.
Look, it was a good first possession for Eltham. They had a good open look inside there. They just couldn't get it to go.
So Kilsyth now to show what they can do for their first possession in the hands of Hooley.
So 2-3 zones by the look of it. 2-3 zone by the Wildcats.
2 points. Was well done by Peter Hooley. Yes, the 2-3 zone did work for them last weekend against Hobart, where Eltham got up in the end. No, 82-71, got up by 11 points, so it looks like they're continuing to use that tonight.
I saw the Frankston game as well. They used it to very good effect in that game against the Blues. Really junked it up and forced it to become a bit of a battle of attrition.
That's right. Jeremy McKay with the ball once again. Eltham yet to get a score, a minute in. Justin Ava with the ball, gives it to Sykes. Sykes heading towards the basket on that left hand.
Well, that's just athleticism, isn't it? Just flipped it up to the left. Elevating first, of course. That first step, very quick.
Sykes is coming into form during this season. He's had foul trouble in a few of those early on games. Now from 3, it was Patton. But these last couple of weeks, Josh Sykes has been at his very best, playing out all 4 quarters, barely taking a break on the bench.
Prodigy nearly came up with a steal.
Given to Doyle. Will be a foul called. Smith Milner, who was just trying to keep his feet. Doyle took the contact.
Well, Doyle got the big man, Chris Patton, up in the air. See those two go side by side. Massive size difference.
Yep. Doyle, agile player, but quite short. And now from 3 was Doyle. It rolled around, falls out. The rebound, Prodigy. So
Prodigy's standing out with those purple kicks tonight.
You'll notice that on your screen.
In fact, they might even be lavender.
Isaac Turner from 3. His first score.
Turner's such a dangerous offensive talent. Can do it both outside and in. Very active defensively.
Of course, had his injury issues this season. Fractured his hand in the first round against Knox. Justin Ava from 3. Came back last weekend to play Albury. And Isaac Turner now making some immediate impact tonight. Patton off the glass, looks to go for 2 points. Out by 5 now is Kilsyth.
Good show of the ball by Patton, getting his defender up and going around for the easy 2.
McKay fakes, drives to the basket. There's good defense. It'll be out off Kilsyth. Eltham with the inbound possession from the baseline.
Kay's been a great addition to the Wildcats, really shored up their front line.
So they have 10 seconds now on the shot clock. Given to Ava. A couple of defenders there. Bradbury, there'll be a foul there. Probably unnecessary, but stops the possession. And it'll be Eltham once again. Coming off the bench is Felix von Hoff. Not a bad player to bring off the bench in number 6 for your number 6.
Well, Smith Milner's picked up 2 quick personals and he heads straight to the bench.
Less than 3 minutes in. We need to be disciplined. Josh Sykes now finds some contact and then goes over the top of his defender in for 2 points. Josh Sykes with the first 2 scores for Eltham.
Well, he did a really good job there against Patton. Patton held his ground. Sykes just about bounced off him, but was able to then finish over the top. As we see Turner fire from deep.
Von Hoff gathers an offensive rebound. Those overboards might come back to bite Eltham. 8 seconds now on the shot clock. Jeremy McKay matches up against Patton. McKay putting all of his body into it. Just on the dying moment of the shot clock, Patton puts it up, can't get it to go. Are they out here? There's 3 defenders there. Josh Sykes go back with the left hand, and that's the 3rd team foul for Kilsyth. And Josh Sykes is everywhere right now, and he needs to be.
Don't you love that? Sykes going up against Odygy. 2 extremely athletic talents going head to head.
If there was any night you wanted the replays in front of us, it's tonight that we have that. So you're looking at that on your screens, and Josh Sykes drawing a foul will head to the line for 2. Referees tonight, Daniel Batty, Troy Earl and Jordan Royal. Very experienced referees at this level. And it's Sykes now made the first, and it's the second as well. So it's back to a 1-point game.
And this is what the fans want. They want a good, tight game tonight. Of course, Eltham home fans might want a big win as Von Hoff testing his range early. They're going to get another crack at it.
Fully with the ball. The defender was there in Ava. Looked short, was short. McKay gathers the rebound. Doyle has some pressure up the court, but Hawley now retreats. Shooting 1 from 5 from the perimeter, Kilsyth at the moment. And that 1-3 coming from Isaac Turner.
Josh Sykes has all 6 points for Eltham.
Jeremy McKay now just on the baseline there. Von Hoff, a similar body shape, matches up on him. Doyle, dying seconds of the shot clock. Can't get it to fall. Hawley had his hand there.
Well, there's not much else Hooley could have done.
Josh Sykes trying to keep it in court.
Good heads-up play there by the Wildcats, nearly getting a steal. Certainly matching it with the Cobras early. And the intensity's up. You can really see they're up for this one.
Of course, Kilsyth, coached by Justin Schuller, been involved with the Melbourne United program for many years. Elite level of junior basketball as well. Can't get a mid-range jump to go for Patton. Quick transition ball given to McKay. A couple of defenders there. Doyle now for three to take the lead. Adam Doyle puts it in from long range. A smooth shooting action, and he gets some dividends.
So in the zone, we've seen Chris Patton fire a couple early and hasn't been able to hit, and it's nearly like Eltham's willing for him to shoot. They're willing to give him up while they want to shut down the likes of Hooley and Von Hoff and some of these other guys, and just let the likes of a Chris Patton, or you can keep firing away. If you don't hit them, you're not hurting us.
Adam Doyle took a few games to get into this season, and now he's averaging 18 points per game, so it'll be vital for Eltham tonight as you're watching the replay on the screen of that three. Peter Hooley drew a foul from Justin Ava, his first foul. Now at the line for two.
Kilsyth gets a spreader scoring. Hooley's averaging a team best 18.9 points a game. You got Turner averaging nearly 18 points. Smith-Milner, who's out early, of course, 2 quick fouls for him. He's averaging 15 points and 8.1 rebounds. So, and then Patton, he's averaging 11 points. You've got McDonald coming off the bench, averaging almost 10. Adigi's averaging 9. Von Hoff is averaging nearly 8. Like, they've got a spread of scorers.
Scorers indeed. Across at Eltham, the scoring has been largely led by Adam Doyle, as I mentioned, averaging 18 points per game. Kevin McKay's bringing in 13, and that's the man that has the ball right now. Off the glass is fouled. We'll put it in for 2. We'll head to the line for one more. Crowd are loving it. And so, as I said, averaging around 13 points per game. Ben Waldron's pouring in about 12. Josh Sykes, of course, 13.7 points per game. So, there's a few scorers as well for Eltham who will need to make their impact heard and felt tonight. Makes the free throw, does Jeremy McKay, and perhaps unexpectedly Eltham now leading by 3 points. Can't overstate Kilsyth come into this season. A lot of punters had Kilsyth. Will be an offensive foul called. It's going to be the 5th team foul for Kilsyth. Of course, won't result in free throws, but some problems for Kilsyth at this stage. Substitution made. Ovi Magbagor will come onto the court for Simon Bradbury. But yes, as I was saying, we're a definite favourite, and they've managed to lose the last 4 games of Kilsyth against Diamond Valley and Southern Sabres were the 2 biggest or most notable losses anyway. So yeah, just struggling over recent times. Doyle now with the ball, spots Josh Sykes, drops it in.
Wasn't quite the dunk, but certainly a highlight nonetheless. Mr. Sykes.
He plays above the rim always. He did hit a 3 last week, I think, from memory, so he'll be trying to work on that in the off-season, no doubt. But with 8 seconds on the shot clock, Kilsyth looking desperate for a score. Odygy heading inside. Crowd are liking that for a block, but there's a foul called on Ovi Magbagor. 2 free throws.
Certainly a bit of excitement out there by the players.
Plenty of contact.
Very little doubt that was a foul. But as you're going to see on the replay now, but some exciting action going out there at both ends. And, you know, we talk about all the talent in the world, but if you can't bring all that talent together and play as a team and get some chemistry going, it counts for nothing. And that's why we love the game of basketball. You know, it's anyone's game.
Ooh, big contact there. Yeah, no doubt about that one. As you saw as well, Josh Sykes is finding those jumping shots, playing around the rim and above the rim, as he always does, but ensuring not to contact anyone on the way through, which has been a significant change in behaviour from earlier on this season. He's definitely more disciplined, and he comes up to present for the ball. Doyle now, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Doyle pulls up for 3, looking for his second. Adam Doyle! another three.
That was a lovely quick release by Adam Doyle under all kinds of pressure. Was able to get it off and get it in.
Bit of contact up the court. Josh Sykes slams it into the glass. Justin Ava, can he capitalise? Gives it to Doyle. Retreating, given to Ovi Magbegor. Foul called, will head to the line for two.
Well, what a block that was at the other end. Hopefully we'll get that highlight up here in a moment. That was huge, but then quite impressively for Eltham, they could have just gone wild to try and score in transition. Quite wisely pulled it up, waited for a better option, and we're going to see McBegor head to the line to shoot a couple.
Part of Eltham's issues when there's some real excitement at both ends is just losing their cool a little bit, and it's good to see that they managed to get a play out of what was a very exciting moment. Josh Sykes, as I said, slamming it into the glass. Look at this, with some height, bang. Falling back down on the ground, Justin Ava grabbed it and ran down the other ends. And as I said, perhaps somewhat unexpectedly, if you look at the ladder, if it has any indicator, Eltham leading 17-10 early on in this first half of basketball. We've got 3.5 minutes to go. It's exciting stuff.
Wherever you're watching this game, it shouldn't come as a surprise. What we've seen is a very pumped up, focused Eltham team out on the court, playing as a team more importantly. And Kilsyth, they're shooting just 30% from the field, 3 of 10. And compared to that, Eltham very efficient, 6 of 12. They've hit 50% of their shots. Of course, it also helps that Doyle's drained a couple of nice three-pointers as well. The points in the paint, so, you know, whether that's a surprise to you or not, it's 8-4 in favour of the Wildcats.
Josh Sykes largely drawing those scores.
Again, he leads all scorers with 8 points. He's got a couple of rebounds, and Doyle has 6. Best for Kilsyth's Peter Hooley. He's got 4 points. Early days, of course, anything can happen in a game of basketball. But right now, if you're an Eltham Wildcats fan, you'd be pretty happy with yourself with this game sitting.
As you mentioned, there's no individual. I mean, Peter Hooley, of course, leading the scoring for Kilsyth this season, but there's no particular individual that has stood out in terms of scoring majorly for Kilsyth. But they do have that share of scorers, and so far that's been the scoring line is indicative of that. Isaac Turner hit a 3. Patton also has 2. Peter Hooley leading the way with 4. Ovi Magbegor at the line. Hits the free throw. Not the strongest element of Magbegor's game, but that free throw looked all right. Doyle playing some defense up the court on McDonald. Doyle's a man that can play all 40 minutes of a game of basketball. Just over 3 minutes to go here in this first quarter. Patton has it. Magbegor, he can play a defensive job above his age and maturity, and that's just indicative of it. Waldron capitalises and gives it to Adam Doyle. Adam Doyle pressing the ball up the court, throws it up, looking for more points, bounces around and gets it to fall. Doyle's looking very good early on.
Well, one thing that's becoming obvious to me right now is, as we see, Eltham have gone to a man, but they've really struggled getting good spacing against the defence of the Wildcats. Now, I think part of that's credit to the zone. The other thing is, even when they've gone back to a man now, like we're seeing, they're really thrown them out of rhythm, thrown them out of the game.
Kilsyth are looking a little bit out of sorts with the offensive and defensive end right now, but that last play there, Patton tried to force it up, couldn't get a shot away really. Foul drawn, and it'll be Ben Waldron who will have 2 bonus free throws. Whelan enters the court in exchange for Adam Doyle, getting a couple of minutes rest with this lead.
I think if you're a Cobras fan, you really want to get the ball in Isaac Turner's hands. That's the kind of person. Now, I know he's not on the court at the moment, but he hasn't seen enough of the ball offensively.
He's averaging around 18 points per game as well, so you know he can score.
So the lineup for Cobras have got Michael Wern checked in for his first minutes of the game. McDonald, Patton, Hooley, and Von Hoff. McBegor, Whelan, Waldron, Sykes and McKay for the Wildcats.
2.5 minutes to go in this first quarter. Eltham leading by 11. Kilsyth looking to score. Driving inside and putting it up. It was McDonald. Can't get it to go. McBegor pulls down the rebound. Whelan now.
But you see again, there was no offense. It was just one guy dribbling the ball. I'm going to take it.
McKay now with a pathway to the basket. Felix Von Hoff came across to help with defense, but didn't do enough, and it left McKay with all the room to complete the 2 points, and did so. Peter Hooley now needs to get a score, needs to drive and get 2 points, and instead they'll go to the line for 2.
And again, it's like every possession for Kilsyth is just whoever's dribbled the ball up is going to shoot. That's exactly what it's been. There's no offense, there's no movement, and whoever's got the ball is going to be the one shooting it.
I'm not going to pretend to know the individual aspirations of the team. But when you bring in 4 or 5 players that have played at the highest level of Australian basketball into the team, it requires a certain meshing of players to ensure that the sets run and that the plays go ahead. And probably so far it hasn't really been the case so far.
Well, the key is they're not playing as a team. And right now, it's all individual. Whoever's got the ball, it's nearly like, well, I've got the ball, I'm going to shoot it because I don't know if I'm getting it back.
Yeah. Right. Josh Sykes gives it to Whelan in the end. There's some tight defence being applied by Wern. Okay, now back to Whelan. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Wern's there for defence. Now it's Hooley. So Sykes finds Waldron, turns for a long 3, and Ben Waldron fading away, gets it to go. Crowd are loving it here at Eltham because they're leading by 14 points.
There we go.
A bit more of what you'd expect from Kilsyth.
Well, that time it went through a couple of hands at least, and we had a slasher through the key, found him, and he's going to go to the free throw line. But I was just going to say, so we've seen now Kilsyth switch it up to a zone as well, but there's one easy way to break the zone, and that's do this, hit 3-pointers, as Waldron just does there on the replay.
Waldron and Magbegor appreciated as Magbegor heads to the bench. So he's made his contribution. Youth league player, stepped up to this NBL1 level and performed from start to finish.
So Smith
Milner yet to score, and that's not going to help.
Well, he's only played 3 minutes. He's just checked back into the game. 2 quick fouls early in the first term.
That's right. Can't get the second one to go either.
Very cold here. Maybe sitting on the pine may have had an impact perhaps.
Considering he's shooting 90% from the free throw line this season, it's not what he's going to want. Josh Sykes now looked like he had a pathway, reaches for the offensive rebound. The count as 2-0 boards, puts it up again. Bradbury comes back in. In the end, it falls out for Turner. So it's McDonald again. Josh Sykes came in for defence, but ultimately Otaji led the line for 2.
I like Sykes. He's like, I'm up straight. No, you weren't, mate. You were not. You were going for the block shot. There we go. Arms came down, and certainly very imposing. He is inside in both ends of the court, of course, and what an athlete he is. He's going to check out and have a breather just before half-time.
He has 2 fouls. It's not particularly urgent, but yes, he
doesn't want to pick up a third foul. He's a shot blocker. He's a Showtime athlete.
Right.
He's more likely to pick up a third because of the way he plays.
Yeah.
So I think it's safe to take him out now. They've got a 13-point lead, double-digit lead, heading into half-time. I think they would have taken that if you had have offered that to Eltham before the game.
As is the case with the Eltham women as well. Eltham men, not particularly great starters so far this season, coming alive really in the second half, but they'll be very pleased with how they've played so far. Patton fakes the shot, gives it to Hooley now. Hooley working his way around plenty of defenders. Wasn't a great shot in the end. Shaffett now with the ball for Eltham. 4 defenders there will rightly retreat, given to McKay. And now to Whelan. 39 seconds remaining in this quarter. Hooley's there, forcing him baseline. Finds Waldron, stepped out of court. And so Kilsyth will regain possession.
Still 2-possession ball game to close this half out. 33 seconds on the game clock.
And yeah, got to toe the line, you think. Turner gives it to Hooley, coming up to set an on-ball with Patton. Hooley just turned around without a defender really on him, but in the end a foul called. Be 2 free throws for Patton. Okay,
Not quite sure that was a pass by Hooley.
Healthy suspicion.
So Patton to the line. Team very much in need of a couple of free throws here. Used every inch of the rim to rattle that one home.
Makes both the free throws. Back to 11. 1 possession remaining, you'd think, in this first quarter. Okay, finds Bradbury, loses touch of it. Kilsyth have it again. I want to continue with the scoring ways they got off the last free throws from Patton. McDonald with the ball. A couple of on-ball options. Shaffert's there. Good lateral defense. Now Hawley driving to the basket, puts it up. In the end,
that'll be waved off.
In the end, the basket won't count, and that will draw to a close what's been a really strong start by the Eltham Wildcats, leading by 11 heading into quarter time.
And it was a really good first half for the Eltham Wildcats. They should head into the end of this first quarter. I was going to say half time. End of this first quarter with their heads held high. They definitely outplayed Kilsyth. Defensively, they were very sound. Able to, for the most part, keep the slashing plays out of it. And when they did get inside, they were there at the rim to meet them. And most of the time, there was no fouls involved. So really good start. They're shooting 50% from the field of the Wildcats compared to just 20% to Kilsyth. Now, two elements to that I'll talk about.
Updated figures, 3 from 17, 18%.
18%, even worse for a Cobra supporter. But, you know, there's two elements to this. One, you've got to give the Wildcats some credit for their defence. It has been very solid. The zone in particular worked a treat early, and any kind of rhythm that Kilsyth were going to try and get was thrown out of whack straight away. They haven't been able to hit the three ball. But on the flip side, they've been going one out quite frequently. There hasn't been any team play, or very little of it. It's, I've got the ball, I'm going to take them on, and it hasn't paid off for them, despite the talent they've got. So, but credit to Eltham. They're in front, and now Kilsyth, what are they going to come back with?
Well, Eltham, of course, need to come back out here, not thinking about what happened in the first quarter, because they need to continue just finding a way to, Josh Sykes, having a look at some of the replays on your screen, but yes, finding a way to continue scoring, playing the good defense that they have been. Josh Sykes, as I mentioned, has 2 fouls. Equally, I think it was Smith Milner has a couple of fouls as well for Kilsyth, so 2 players that want to stay disciplined and ensure they aren't having any loose hands or anything. But yes, if we look at the scoring, Peter Hawley, as you said, 6 points. Patton has 4, Turner hit 1-3, but hasn't really had much of an impact, or hasn't been given the ball as much as maybe he would otherwise in the offensive end. Eltham, Adam Doyle's been leading the way with 8, Josh Sykes has 8 as well, Jeremy McKay has 5.
But certainly, with Doyle hitting the 3 ball, I think that makes a big difference for Eltham too, and of course we see Waldron hit that one as well. When they're hitting the 3 ball, it really opens things up for a guy like Sykes. Opens it up, but you know, if they collapse on him and hit the 3 ball, well, Eltham suddenly become a very dangerous proposition. If those 3 balls aren't going in, it's going to allow the luxury of Kilsyth to drop in. But so far, they've been looking pretty good from the perimeter.
We're back underway here at Eltham. Kilsyth have Patton, Hawley, Turner, Smith, Milner, and Odyssey on the court. Hawley's the one with the ball right now. It's given to Odyssey. Odyssey from 3, and that's the start they needed in this second quarter. Odyssey makes a go from 3.
And Odyssey hitting the 3, it's not really his forte. His forte is getting into the paint, so encouraging sign for him and his club, but may not be the option they're looking for.
Bradbury, mid-range jumper. McKay comes in to help for an offensive board, knocks it out of court instead, so it'll be Kilsyth ball. Looking at this 3, Odyssey with plenty of space. Waldron tried his best, but didn't close out, and pretty easy 3 in the end. No 3 is easy, of course, but made it work, so he's got the ball now. Hawley presenting. Shaffert's there for defense, forcing him on the left hand. It'll be Eltham ball. Hawley lost touch of it. I think he feels was knocked out of his hands. Eight points is the margin from Eltham. It did stretch out 14, 15 or so in that first quarter. Shaffert now cuts inside, mid-range jumper. Dave Shaffert gets his first points for two mid-range jumper. Just played 2 minutes so far as Shaffert.
Got to give the big fella some credit there. That was a lovely pass. He hesitated, didn't give it early, waited, created the opening and fed it nicely, as we see at the other end though. Kilsyth get the score inside.
Bradbury comes to set a high pick. Allows Patton to apply some defense. Doyle with some big guys playing defense on him. Odyssey's trying to do his best and does his best because he gets the block.
What a defensive play by Odyssey.
Isaac Turner looking for another 3. He'll hit the framework. The Eltham ball. Kilsyth looking a little bit better in the start of this second quarter. What can Eltham do to stay on top? Shaffett presenting again. Got a score on the last possession now. Does he shoot again? Steps back inside his defender. McKay knocks it down for Waldron to gather. Waldron rewards him with the ball. Tries from three. Does Jeremy McKay? A ways off. And it'll be Kilsyth ball.
I think that's been kind. That was an air ball.
Yeah.
Certainly not the shot they want, and you know they had a really good possession on the previous foray up the court. And get that open shot, and Patton is firing. And again, the Wildcats are giving him that shot, and he hasn't been able to hit.
And they'll probably continue to do so until he does. So Waldron now tries from three, similar place to where his last one was from. Otagy gives it to Patton. This time it should be an easy finish, and he does so for 2 points. Back to 6 now. Yeah, Patton's shooting 33% from the field so far. He has 8 points. Shaffett with the ball. Otagy's there for defense. Given to McKay. Waldron sends an off the ball screen. Now McKay.
Oh, McKay! McKay really tried to go down upstairs, didn't he?
We know he can dunk the ball, can Jeremy McKay. And he's replaced on court by someone who we also know can dunk the ball. So he tried his best for a slam there, but falls out of court.
I'll tell you what, watching the replays, Smith Milner did a fantastic job at defending the rim. Even more so not to commit the foul.
Well, yeah, considering with the 2 fouls. Needs to get those arms nice and high in the air. Adam Zoyle with 4 seconds remaining on the shot clock on that inbound. Throws it up for 3, can't get it to go. Turner now, quick transition ball. Couple of defenders to work with. Foul called.
Late whistle.
Yeah, don't know. We'll see the replay for this one. And substitution made. Von Hoff re-enters the court in exchange for Otagy. Turner is at the line for the free throw. Just the first foul there for the quarter.
Isaac Turner still just has the 3 points. Well down on his season average of 18.
This is the free throw. Man shooting at 91% from the free throw line. This is his first. So Doyle and Sykes both yet to score in this quarter as he misses his second free throw. Rebound for Von Hoff, given back to Turner. Von Hoff's in the corner if he wants it. Patton presents, and now Hawley has a Paddock from the perimeter. Flying rebounders there in the end. Comes down for Dave Shaffett. Given to Doyle. Had some room, given back to Shaffett. Stepped out of court. Missed anyway.
But again, you compare the spacing of Eltham compared to Kilsyth. And Eltham just doing a better job of spacing the court, creating openings and creating shots for each other.
Oh, Simon Bradbury denies Turner.
Did Bradbury get off the ground to block that? I think he was still on the ground.
Simon Bradbury doesn't leave the ground.
Oh no, he got off the ground.
Sorry, he does leave the ground, but not by much. Oh, it's a 2 points. It was well done by Smith Milner. Well, he doesn't have a great deal of hops on him, but when you come in at 7'1" or so, doesn't matter a great deal when you've got those big arms as well.
Well, he's got the Jumpman logo on his shoes.
Shaffett now.
Tough basket.
Score. Dave Shaffett doing what he does best. In for 2 points in the paint. Patton now electing
Again,
not to take the shot.
They're letting him shoot it. And now he's thinking twice because he hasn't hit one.
Well, that's right. Lacking in confidence. Passes it to Hawley, who never is lacking confidence, fading away.
And that's going to be a miscommunication there between the 2 big fellas from Eltham. It's going to go back to Kilsyth. Kilsyth made some inroads into that margin, though. It's down to 6, and they got possession here.
Eltham need to regroup and settle, of course, in offense because, as I mentioned, Doyle, Sykes and McKay, who were leading the scoring in that first quarter, all yet to score in this second. And now, Smith-Milner from three, knocks it down. Clutch three from Smith-Milner halfway through this second quarter.
Smith-Milner now looking likely to get the scoring going as, oh my lord. Doyle gets inside the paint way too easily.
Considering the size of the bodies out there, as Turner tries from three, considering the size of the bodies out there, they should be able to get a hand in Doyle's way there. Now he's doing it again. Off the glass, and it's another 2 points in succession for Adam Doyle. I mentioned he was yet to score, but in these last two possessions for Eltham, been fast breaks for Doyle. He's managed to get a couple of scores.
Well, that's just not good enough in transition by Kilsyth, allowing an easy push up the 4x1 player. And again, the offense, all of a sudden, they were getting some good ball movement, and some movement off the ball, and now they've sort of gone back to the
revert to the early shot.
Quick shot, one play mentalities. We see the chase down by McBeggar.
Shaffett now. Forced shot, can't get it to go. So really trying it from mid-range, fading away, couldn't get to go. Ava now with for Eltham, off the glass, and Justin Ava doing what Adam Doyle's been doing, gets 2 points. Justin Shaw said, I've seen enough, because it's 9 points the difference now. It'll be a timeout taken.
And that's just terrible transition defense again. You know, the guards are just carving them up. It's not even like they're running in packs. It's one player just carving away through everything up the court and scoring at ease. If Doyle done it a couple of times, and now we've seen Ava, and all of a sudden they were back within 6, and they just pushed the margin to 9 again, and could easily be more if they had made a couple of baskets as well.
Block earlier on, well done by Smith-Milner, of course. He's a man that now has 5 points with that 3 ball as well, and
so will Bradbury be talking about that block all week?
Naturally.
But everyone else in the building will be talking about the Sykes one.
Well, that's right. I mean, it's a competition amongst them all. The highlight reel with Josh Sykes featured so many times with the top 10 plays. So both of them trying to make their showing this week.
So Doyle getting it done inside on transition in this period. He's up to 12 points, leads all scorers. Sykes has 8. Patton's got 8 for the visitors.
Kilsyth shooting at just 27% from the field at this stage. Eltham shooting at 40%.
It's better than the 19% it was earlier.
That's right, improving in some ways. Rebound counts similar. Steals, turnovers, pretty even contest across the stat line so far, but Eltham out by 9 points.
Well, the Wildcats, you look at the lineup, the Wildcats 20-8 in the paint, and most of those are coming from transition. I'm sure that's something Justin Schuller was talking about in that timeout. He would not be happy with their transition D at all.
So we're back out on court, just over 4 minutes remaining in this first half of basketball. Eltham leading by 9 points. Odygy with the ball, blows past Sykes and puts it in off the glass for 2.
And gets the steal.
The ball, tries to keep it in court. Doyle was the recipient. Of course, wearing different colours than Odygy. Given to Doyle a couple of important scores recently. There will be a foul called by referee Jordan Royal. Kilsyth with some protests, but the foul will be, and it's the first foul of the second quarter.
What an athlete Odygy is, though. He nearly got the steal. Well, he did get the steal. He just threw it away because he was falling out of court, but almost came up with a steal there as well.
Ava directing some traffic, given back to Ava. Ava from 3, looks good for Justin Ava. Eltham are out again. And Justin Ava with an important 3 for Eltham to just stay on top of this Kilsyth side. Look at this, Justin Ava pops out. Almost had the toe on the line if I look at that replay, but it was awarded a 3, I'm fairly sure. So down at the Kilsyth end now, McDonald with the ball. Wiley's inside, fighting with Magbegor. Peter Hooley diving underneath, finds McDonald. Odygy's out on the perimeter as well. Your foul called. The foul was on Shaffett. It's his third personal foul.
I think it will be.
It says first according to the score bench.
Well, those live stats.
Bit of a discrepancy on it. Somehow.
There's a fair discrepancy between 1 and 3.
You could say that. 14 seconds is what Kilsyth have to work with. And Doyle matches up against McDonald. KO Wiley now travels. Can't complain about that.
You want to get him in the post. He's getting the ball way too high up. There, you don't want him putting the ball on the floor. You want him to be turning, spinning, dunking if you're a Cobra supporter. And an unforced turnover.
Some of these players that should be commanding the post, whether it's Patton or O'Wheely or even Odygy, not really doing so far. Electing instead for mid-range or three-point shots. But at this stage, as we mentioned, Eltham leading the way for points in the paint. So it's Doyle now again.
They can't stay in front of him.
Oh, Josh Sykes! He flies, and he jams.
His head was way above the rim on that dunk.
And at the other end, it's McDonald, who puts it in for 2 points.
McDonald's a real talent as well. But again, it's too easy for the Wildcats, although they've turned it over.
He's forced to make a pass he didn't want to. Be a foot violation. Justin Ava put his foot on it. Substitutions being made for Eltham. Jeremy McKay and Ben Waldron will enter the court. Yovi Magbegor, who just committed a turnover. And Shaffett, as you're watching that replay of Josh Sykes. His first genuine slam, you'd feel, of the night.
What do you mean first genuine slam? It was the only slam.
He did fly up before, but yeah, just sort of dropped it in the end. So. But
yeah, again, that was, again, terrible transition D by Kilsyth, allowing one player just to slice and dice half their lineup. And again, they're giving Patton the jump shot. That's a foul.
Patton will head to the line for one more. They needed it, Kilsyth, and he'll want to convert on the free throw line.
But this is what he needs to do. This is what he does well. Body up, bang, bang, bang.
We haven't seen enough of it.
Get it inside. Whereas early in the game, earlier on, he was shooting jump shots. And Wildcats were like, go for it, mate. Happy for you, and he didn't hit one. So now he's going back to his real strength is in the paint.
Caveat for all of this is that he's leading the scoring for Kilsyth with 11 points. Closest is Hawley with 7. So
but all of his points have come in the paint.
That's right.
Oh, the Wildcats in a bit of trouble. Just get it over.
Doyle now with the ball. Gives it to Ava. Now McKay, one-on-one in the paint. Turner's there if he needs help. McKay, will be a foul called. It was lucky for McKay in the end.
I was going to say, I'm not quite sure what Patton did wrong then. He did a pretty good job of holding his ground, staying upright, allowing Odygy to come from behind for a potential block. But we're going to see McKay go to line in any case. And deceptively strong as McKay. Looks like there's some really good camaraderie between the Eltham Wildcats. You can see there's smiles, bit of chat. Also helps they're leading by 8 points.
That's right. And Eltham's side had an import earlier on this season in Grandy Glaze. Contract was ultimately terminated and he went back to Canada. 2 points. He's found by Patton.
Again, in the post.
Now. Yep. Josh Sykes flying through the keyway. He's hanging, but he's slamming.
And that's why you want to walk in the door here at Eltham High School.
Massive hops on Josh Sykes. As always, Patton now looking for a three, and he makes it.
Well, I think the thing is with his game, now he's making them in the paint. He's got his confidence up. Then he can hit that shot, and that makes the defence pay, you know, for giving that shot up. But you go inside first, outside, that's working for him.
His third year with the Kilsyth Cobras is Chris Patton. Applies defence on Ava. McKay's fouled, gets it to go for 2, led to the line for one more.
And he's flexing too, let them all know. Michael Wern wasn't very happy with how he was doing that.
Eltham need to capitalise on this home crowd advantage that they have here. McKay will be the first to do so. Substitution made. Odygy heads to the bench. Von Hoff re-enters the court. Yet to score as Felix Von Hoff in his 9 minutes of play. Has 3 rebounds and a foul. McKay looking to complete the three-point play. Barely reached the ring. And now it's back to Kilsyth. Turner from 3. Transition 3 was what they were looking for.
The refs are going to talk about it.
And ultimately it's decided.
Fans are all involved here at Eltham High School at the moment. Not sure how much you're picking up on your microphone at home.
Ava and Sykes certainly thought that it would be Eltham ball, but that's of course because they're wearing the Eltham colours. So anyway, Eltham now have the ball. McDonald applying some tight defence on Whelan. Whelan with the ball, down to 14 on the shot. McKay with the ball now, one-on-one. Pattons is the man that he's matched up against. McKay fading away off the glass for 2 points. Jeremy McKay now has double figures with 10. Out by 9. Now forced to do the defensive work on McDonald, but McDonald playing really well. Gets it to go for 2 points.
McDonald really using his body well to protect the ball as he went up.
Whelan took plenty of steps and now he has the ball again. Diving baseline, finds McKay for another score. Whelan with the assist, it was a good pass and McKay completes it for 2. And now just 7 seconds remaining.
And McKay's really making an impact. He's going to have to fire.
Patton, long 2 range, can't get it to go, and that draws to a close what's been a really strong half of basketball by the Eltham Wildcats. Kilsyth made inroads in that second quarter, but in the end, they go into the half-time break, trailing by 9 points to the home team in the Eltham Wildcats. Whew. Some exciting basketball. Josh Sykes with some high-flying dunks, and that has helped Eltham develop this lead.
And look, part of why Eltham are leading is the teamwork. The defence has been very solid. But it's also been their spread of scoring and getting up in transition. You know, Doyle's been great in transition. Sykes has been great in transition. We've seen Ava do it as well. And Kilsyth's been giving that up time and time again. And that's why Eltham is still leading by 9 at the moment. But Chris Patton really got going in that quarter. He started banging inside, getting in, and was one of the reasons why Kilsyth were able to close and prevent the margin from blowing out even further. But if your head coach right now of Kilsyth, as Justin Schuler is, it's going to be about 2 things. One is offensive structure and getting the ball through hands, and 2, he's got to stop the transition. Got to stop Eltham's transition. It has killed them in this period.
I think an important factor for Kilsyth, of course, is they can troubleshoot. They can identify what the issues have been so far. They certainly did so well through the hands of Patton, who was getting some inside scoring, then found a 3 as well. The defensive transition, as you mentioned, where Josh Sykes has been flying through. Adam Doyle got a couple of nice scores diving into the basket. Be some important things they would want to turn around in this second half coming up in just a short few moments. But at this stage, Eltham are leading the way at home, winning by 9 points. Of course, the team's shooting field goal percentage is one factor. Shouldn't be underestimated as well. Kilsyth was struggling for a while there, and they were shooting about 18%, now 37%, so they've turned it around in some ways. But of course, at the end of the day, they will have to turn it around in a big way in this second half because they're trailing by 9 points. You've been listening to the NBL and watching the NBL1 action here at Eltham. It's the NBL1 game of the round. More basketball action coming up in just a short few moments. There for defense, given to McKay. Waldron sets an off the ball screen. Now McKay.
Oh, McKay! McKay really.
Oh, Simon Bradbury.
Oh, he got off the ground.
Sorry, he does leave the ground, but not by much. Oh, it's a 2 points. It was well done by Smith Milner. And now, Smith Milner from 3 knocks it down. Clutch 3 from way there. Now he's doing it again. Off the glass, and it's another 2 points in succession for Adam Doyle. Away, couldn't get to go. Ava now with for Eltham off the glass, and Justin Ava doing what Adam Doyle's been doing, gets 2 points. Justin Shaw said, I've seen enough, because it's 9 points the difference now. It'll be a timeout taken.
And that's just terrible transition defence again. You know,
directing some traffic, given back to Ava. Ava from 3, looks good for Justin Ava. Directing some traffic, given back to Ava. Ava from 3, looks good for Justin Ava. Points in the paint. To Doyle now again.
They can't stay in front of him.
Oh, Josh Sykes! He flies, he flies, he flies, and he jams.
His head was way above the rim on that dunk.
To Doyle now again.
They can't stay in front of him.
Oh, Josh Sykes! He flies, he flies, he flies, and he jams.
His head was way above the rim on that dunk. Some dice. Half their lineup. And again, they're giving Patton the jump shot. That's a foul.
Patton will head to the line for one more. They needed it. Kilsyth.
The post.
Yep. Josh Sykes flying through the keyway. He's hanging.
The post.
Yep. Josh Sykes flying through the keyway. He's hanging. Massive hops on Josh Sykes. As always, Patton now looking for a 3, and he makes it. Given to McKay, a couple of defenders there. Doyle now for 3 to take the lead. Adam Doyle puts it in from long range. Given to McKay, a couple of defenders there. Doyle now for 3 to take the lead. Adam Doyle puts it in from long range. The game, McKay's bringing in 13, and that's the man that has the ball right now. Off the glass is fouled. We'll put it in for 2. We'll head to the line for one more. Crowd are loving it over recent times. Doyle now with the ball, spots Josh Sykes, drops it in. With 8 seconds on the shot clock, Kilsyth looking desperate for a score. Otagy heading inside, crowd now, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Doyle pulls up for 3, looking for his second, Adam Doyle.
Quick release by Adam Doyle, under all kinds of pressure. Was able to get it off and get it in.
Bit of contact up the court, Josh Sykes slams it into the glass. Justin Ava, can he capitalise, gives it to Doyle. Retreating, given to Ovi Magbegor. Foul called, we'll head to the line for 2.
Quick release by Adam Doyle, under all kinds of pressure. Was able to get it off and get it in.
Bit of contact up the court, Josh Sykes slams it into the glass. Justin Ava, can he capitalise, gives it to Doyle. Retreating, given to Ovi Magbegor. Foul called, we'll head to the line for 2. Patton has it, Magbegor, he can play a defensive job above his age and maturity, and that's just indicative of it. Adam Doyle pressing the ball up the court, throws it up, looking for more points, bounces around and gets it to fall. Defense, now it's Hooley. So Sykes finds Waldron, turns for a long 3, and Ben Waldron. Turner gives it to Hooley, coming up to set an on-ball with Patton. Hooley just turned around. Like to have Patton, Hooley, Turner, Smith, Milner and Otagy on the court. Hooley's the one with the ball right now. It's given to Otagy. Otagy from 3, and that's the start they needed in this second quarter. Otagy makes a go from Otagy's there for defense. Given to McKay. Waldron sets an off the ball screen. Now McKay.
Oh, McKay! McKay really.
Oh, Simon Bradbury.
Oh, he got off the ground.
Sorry, he does leave the ground, but not by much. Oh, it's a 2 points. It was well done by Smith Milner. And now, Smith Milner from 3. knocks it down. Clutch three from way there. Now he's doing it again. Off the glass, and it's another 2 points in succession for Adam Doyle. Away, couldn't get to go. Ava now for Eltham. Off the glass, and Justin Ava doing what Adam Doyle's been doing. Gets 2 points. Justin Shaw said, I've seen enough, because it's 9 points the difference now. It'll be a timeout taken.
And that's just terrible transition defence again. You know, the guy
directing some traffic, given back to Ava. Ava from three, looks good for Justin Ava. Directing some traffic, given back to Ava. Ava from three, looks good for Justin Ava. Points in the paint. Looks to Doyle now again.
They can't stay in front of him.
Oh, Josh Sykes! He flies, he flies, he flies, and he jams.
His head was way above the rim on that dunk.
Looks to Doyle now again.
They can't stay in front of him.
Oh, Josh Sykes! He flies, he flies, he flies, and he jams.
His head was way above the rim on that dunk. Some dice. Half their lineup. And again, they're giving Patton the jump shot. That's a foul.
Patton will head to the line for one more. They needed it. Kilsyth.
In the post.
Now. Yep. Josh Sykes flying through the keyway. He's hanging.
In the post.
Yep. Josh Sykes flying through the keyway. He's hanging. Massive hops on Josh Sykes. As always, Patton now looking for a three, and he makes it. Well, you've been watching some of the great highlights of that first half of basketball. It is the NBL1 action here in Eltham. Eltham Wildcats taking on the Kilsyth Cobras. Eltham looked the goods in that first half of basketball. Leading the way was Adam Doyle, Josh Sykes, Jeremy McKay, all with 12 points each. For Kilsyth, it was Patton who really started to find his straps in that second quarter, and he has 16. Well, some work to do for Kilsyth. Obviously some identifiable issues that they can turn around in this second half. But it will be a matter of execution, and Eltham will need to stay on top if they want to get away with a win here tonight.
Certainly is, and if you're looking about the players on the court making an impact, Sykes, he's plus 17 in the plus minus, but also McBegor as well, coming off the bench, he's plus 15 in his time spent on court. So those two guys alone are having a mega impact, whereas I'm sorry, Felix von Hoff, in your 10 minutes, you're minus 24. Ouch.
Well, we are back underway here at Eltham. It is 9 points the difference in favour of Eltham. Kilsyth will get it. Well, Eltham will have a turnover, and Kilsyth will gather the ball for their first possession of the second half.
So on court for Kilsyth, you've got McDonald, Patton, Hooley, Turner, and Von Hoff. And for Eltham, you've got Ava, Whelan, Waldron, Sykes, and McKay.
Pulling up, it was Turner. Gets him to go, mid-range jumper. That's the start they wanted. Turner been pretty quiet.
Big screen too. No one talked Turner. He's like, guys, tell me.
Josh Sykes tries for a mid-range jumper as well.
But we're seeing, it's like the Wildcats are back in a zone. Match up. No, they're going to match up.
Turner hadn't scored since that three in the very first quarter early on, so you'd want to find a bit of confidence, because he's had a massive impact as he'd like to. Of course, averaging 17 or 18 points per game is Turner, so pretty quiet. 5 points now. Jeremy McKay has the ball. Given to Doyle, now sets the screen as McKay. Toby Smith-Milner's there, outsizing Doyle, of course. Bradbury in the dying seconds of the shot clock puts it in for 2 points.
Big bucket by Bradbury there to beat the shot clock.
Ooh, he flicks it out to Smith-Milner, who can shoot a three, but he won't get that one. Eltham will just need to stay composed. Stay attacking, giving to McKay in the corner with the paddock. Puts it in from three, does Jeremy McKay. Eltham out by 12 points.
Just good recognition and ball movement by Eltham. Just and very patient. Getting it to the right person at the right time for the score.
Spots up Otaji in the corner, looking to do a similar thing to what McKay did. Tipping it in, it was Patton, who has 18 now.
So Kilsyth getting back and stopping the transition by Doyle.
Ava stepping back, mid-range jumper. It's no good. Gooley now quickly transitions the ball up the court. A couple of times he's lost touch of it tonight. As Peter Hooley. Adam Doyle with 4 steals now. Adam Doyle now from 3.
Way off target. Not the Adam Doyle we saw in the first half.
Slightly out of character from Doyle. Looking to continue the momentum. Now Smith-Milner tries again from a similar time. He's found his range, gets it to go for 3.
And that time there was good patience by Kilsyth. Just moving the ball around. They wanted to get that shot for Smith-Milner, and Julie knocks it down.
Ava now. Bradbury's there. No foul given. Bradbury, mid-range jumper, the second one of the quarter. Some handy scores from Simon Bradbury.
Got to respect his mid-range shot. Very effective.
Shooting at 64% from the field is Simon Bradbury for the season, as Patton throws another one up that never really looked likely over the hands of Simon Bradbury. McKay forcing his way inside, tries to find Sykes. Sykes manages to keep a handle of it. Does he try again? Mid-range jumper from Bradbury. Wasn't close. Hooley gets Ava flying through the air. And now heading baseline. Turner had 3 defenders there. Smith-Milner. Oh, Sykes needs to be careful. He has a couple of fouls.
Shot clock down to 5. Jump hook. It's good by Patton. But again, when Patton gets in the
correlation between scoring when he's in the paint and when he's outside the paint is very high. Oh, it was a good pass from Ava. Assist of the night to Doyle, who puts it in for 2 points.
That was just a great heads-up play there by Ava, and then Doyle with a finish. Well.
Hooley elects not to shoot the 3. Draws a foul, though, from Ava. Hooley just being cautious from the perimeter so far
Watch
tonight.
this pass again. Look at that vision. And then the finish.
Unreal. Donald reenters the court in exchange for Smith-Milner. Doyle heads to the bench. Whelan comes back on for his first minutes of the 3rd quarter. Another substitution made for Kilsyth. Willie comes on in exchange for Patton. Heads to the bench with 20 points. A bit of rest into the legs. Of course, keeping in mind they do take on Waverley tomorrow, do Kilsyth. Eltham just the 1 game for the weekend. Probably another side that Kilsyth is fairly evenly matched with as well.
And it's a very important you make about tomorrow's game for Kilsyth as well, because we saw Eltham and the Huskies last week. Of course, the Huskies coming off a double overtime thriller on Saturday night, and the Wildcats were then able to make them pay on the Sunday.
I was watching it from here at the Youth League game. Frankston taking on Hobart. We were pushing for a 3rd overtime as Turner tries for 3. Just the 2 will do, though. McKay should finish, and he does so on the right hand. Puts it in for 2 points. Out to 10 again. Goes back to the right hand as Turner. Sykes does a good defensive effort. He wanted to be careful, and he was.
See, that time he did have his hand straight up.
Jerry McKay with a nice finisher. Sykes was pointing to the ring, but Ava said, no, I'll take the more mature option, I think, and give it to McKay. And it was a good option in the end.
2 consecutive possessions, and I'm going to use the T word again. Transition D, non-existent from the Cobras.
Shocking. Turner now, 5 points, looking to make it 8. Not even within Buckley's chances. Buckley's chance of going in, that's for sure. Now Sykes has it. He's got plenty of defenders there, so you imagine he'll retreat. Finds Whelan. Okay. Passed in the end. Sykes with the slam, draws the foul.
And the heads are all dropping of Kilsyth. Did you see the heads drop after that play? For all their effort, they're finding themselves down by 14. Chance it's going to be 15. Watch this again.
Probably a little bit awkward in the end. There's a defender there in Odygy. He jumps in the air. Sykes gathers the contact, jumps in the air and slams it down.
I reckon McKay was trying to throw the alley-oop. Sorry, not McKay. Yeah, well, it was McKay.
Yeah.
I reckon he was trying to throw the alley-oop in the end to him, but it wasn't quite where he wanted it. Nonetheless, it's going to be a potential three-point play to the Wildcats and a chance to make it a 15-point margin, which would make it the largest lead of the game. And with all the work ahead of them, the Cobras, and the way they're playing at the moment, the lack of cohesion, both offensively and defensively, I'm struggling to see how the Cobras are going to get back into this game.
I'm struggling to see that too. And it started out with such a good start to the season for Kilsyth. They won their first 6 games and then have lost their last 4. So they went 6 on the trot, including beating some sides as quality as Geelong, Ringwood, beat Bendigo as well, and Knox in the first round by 3, and then have been struggling in the last 4, and well, tonight's been emblematic of that so far anyway.
I think for them to get back in this game, they've just got to move the ball through hands, get the right shot, get a good shot.
When they've done that.
and every time they look to go ISO, or you got a player going ISO, yeah, with the shot clocks, running down, you got to do that. That's fine, but not in the first 10 or 15 seconds of the shot clock.
Sykes, never calm at the free throw line, makes it work. Really heading to the bench. Patton, with his 20 points, re-enters the court.
So 15 points and 6 rebounds for Sykes.
Another solid performance. Hawley now. Oh, Ovi Magbegor gets involved in the block show. And now it's back in Eltham's hands. Kilsyth's defensive transition effort hasn't been particularly impressive, but their offensive efforts haven't been particularly good either. And that was Magbegor with the block on that particular possession. Ben Waldron, Whelan picked the pocket and puts it in for 2 points.
I just couldn't reel the rebound in, and just popped out, giving it in. Look at McBegor holding his ground.
Force his way in. Patton, no foul called. Von Hoff just shoved Sykes out of the way.
But again, if you look at Sykes, he's plus 23 when he's on the court. And McBegor plus 16. Avers plus 15. They're making an impact when they're on the court. And they're a big reason why they're ahead.
2 youth league players on the court for Eltham in Whelan and Magbegor, and they have the luxury of doing it because they're ahead now. A really solid margin in 17 points.
So for Kilsyth, when McDonald's on the court, when Willie's on the court, they're minus 17, and Von Hoff is minus 25.
Hooley taking on a lot of responsibilities now. Finds Von Hoff ultimately. Tries from 3, and as has been the case for large parts of the night, can't get it to go. Shooting at 28% is Kilsyth from 3. Waldron losing his footing.
Trying to do a little bit too much.
Finds McDonald, couple of defenders there. Otaji doesn't go for the shot, finds Hooley instead, and not adding a great deal to the shooting percentage from the perimeter is Hooley. In the end, it's McDonald who is fouled and will head to the line for 2. Foul on Magbegor there.
Could have been a raffle, could have been McKay as well.
It's his 3rd personal foul.
But again, he's only played 7.5 minutes, but he's plus 17 when he's been on the court. Phenomenal.
Hooley just 7 points. He's had plenty of the ball.
My apologies. McBegor's plus 18 now. Oh, now it's back to 17.
You're right.
I was right. But in 8 minutes, that's phenomenal.
He's been a catalyst for scoring as Magbegor as Sykes head to the bench. He's managed to get through another session of play with no fouls, which is very important for Sykes. Goes to the bench with 2 personal fouls. 15 points the difference. And so Magbegor inbounds to Whelan. Couple of defenders there. Charges through them both. McKay now.
So the Wildcats managed to break the Cobras' full court pressure.
Patton matches up against Magbegor. Finds Shafford. He was open for a moment. Shafford looking to get another score like he did earlier on, where he found a couple of nice shots. Back in the hands of McDonald now. Seemed to have more impact than the 8 points that he has now. course, defensively, McDonald's been solid as well in what's been a pretty dismal performance defensively writ large for Kilsyth. Waldron now looks to shaft it. That's more positive signs defensively for Kilsyth.
So just 1:23 to play in the third. It's a 13-point ball game, and Wildcats can extend it back to 15 or maybe even 16 again.
Kilsyth aren't out of this by any measure, of course. 13 points. It's gettable with a quarter and a bit to go. But it'll be whether or not Eltham can continue the charge. Whelan now steps inside. Mid-range jumper. Looked all right. Couldn't get it to go.
We talk about they're not out of it at all. They've got some serious firepower. They just haven't been able to play cohesively.
McDonald has it. Drives to the basket. McKay was there, but he did well, did McDonald. Now has 10 points into double figures.
Timeouts called by the Wildcats on that score. Just want to stem the flow. Maybe work out what they're going to do in this last minute to close this one out strongly.
Got out to 17 points, back to 11 now. It'll be slightly frustrating for Coach Trevor Lee. But, of course, Eltham feel like the way that they've played will give them confidence in the final quarter, no doubt.
Yeah, they're also able to give a rest in the Josh Sykes' legs as well, giving him a nice little break heading into the final quarter. And Doyle's been sitting out the last few minutes as well, so some good rest. They should be able to finish strong. Considering this is their only game of the weekend, as we mentioned, should be able to play out the final quarter, should Doyle and Sykes, no doubt. If it's any indicator of the sort of cohesiveness that Eltham have been able to muster tonight, they've got 18 assists compared to 8 from Kilsyth. So, well, honestly, the 8 assists from Kilsyth's probably flattering in many ways. Most of their scores have been one-out manoeuvres, whether it's in the post to pattern, which has definitely been a pattern. I'll just have to throw that out.
Good one.
Wasn't that good, really. It was a bad dad joke. But certainly, you know, him getting inside there, one out. And the rest have been sort of ISO plays, like we just saw McDonald get in. Good drive, but that's all we've seen tonight. Very few linkages occurring for the Cobras.
So there's less than a minute to go in this third quarter of basketball here. It's the NBL1 game of the round. Eltham leading by 11 points. Odygy gets the intercept. Should be able to finish. Felix von Hoff, oh my goodness, Kilsyth. If that's any indicator of how it's gone for Kilsyth tonight, well, that tells you all you need to know.
Well, I'm surprised Odygy didn't just explode and throw it down, to be honest with you.
Have a look at this.
Just enough pressure to prevent it.
Oh,
Von Hoff blew it.
Good. Von Hoff, just 2 points tonight. Very quiet one for the captain. Wern yet to score, number 1 out on court. Now Von Hoff looking to find a score.
Players flying everywhere.
Plenty of running and gunning. And now they have 9 seconds on the shot clock. Wern with the ball. McKay's there for defense. Spreading in offense is Kilsyth. Stepping back, fading away, gets it to go for 2 points.
Nice move by Wern. Last shot, got 5 seconds on the clock.
Sykes sets a high screen for Waldron. Smith-Milner's there.
A good defensive play by Milner to close it out, preventing the shot going up at all, and they've narrowed the margin back to 9, and all of a sudden Kilsyth has a little bit of momentum for the first time in a long time.
As I said, which is about 3 or 4 minutes to go in that third quarter, it was 17 points it got out to. At a timeout, it was 11, now back to 9. Kilsyth absolutely with the momentum heading into this final quarter, but of course 9 points is still a solid margin for Eltham, considering that Adam Doyle had plenty of rest and he sits on the bench ready to come back on after we restart this final phase of play. So if they can play the way they were playing for those first 2 quarters and at stages in that third, Eltham should find a way to run this one out.
And look, Kilsyth need to get more production out of Isaac Turner. He has 5 points. That's all he's got. He's only got 1 assist. He's a playmaker, he's a scorer. And then if you look across, you got Peter Hooley. He's only got 7 points as well. He's the team's leading scorer. And then you got Chris Patton, though. He has been really good, and I think he's realised now if he gets the ball close to the paint, he's nearly just going to finish nearly every time. But apart from him, They've got 10 from McDonald off the bench. He's been a live wire, being able to score inside. But they've also leaked when he's been on the court. He's minus 11 for when he's been a presence. So, you know, it's sort of a damned if you do, damned if you don't scenario. But they need to get production from their stars. And right now, Isaac Turner and Peter Hooley are the two that need to step up for the Cobras. Well, you know, for Eltham at the moment, they've got a luxury. They've got a host of scorers tonight. They've had contributors everywhere. And part of the reason is they're sharing the ball.
It's been a big difference tonight is the ability to work as a team. And Eltham has, for in large parts, done exactly that. Kilsyth, not so much. But, of course, there is still 10 minutes to play. And Kilsyth can absolutely have the stamina and the skill to run over the top of Eltham if Eltham aren't careful. Kilsyth looking for their first win since round 4 of this season. Eltham looking to get their third win on the trot, having beaten Southern Sabres and Hobart in the last 2 weeks. We have 10 minutes to play, 9 points the difference in favour of Eltham. We're back underway for the last 10 minutes of play. So can Kilsyth get a score off their first possession? Smith-Milner has it. Sykes loses touch of the defender. Bradbury moving his body into him.
And he didn't need to do it. Bradbury just needed to hold his ground, and that probably would have been a no call.
That's right. And if Smith-Milner now will head to the line for 2 free throws, if he can convert, chance to bring him back to just 7.
So Smith-Milner, he has 8 points. Heading to the charity stripe. Has looked very dangerous offensively. One of the very few players for Kilsyth tonight.
He's the 9 now with that free throw.
Of course, copped the 2 early fouls. Had to sit down for quite a considerable part of the first half.
Still on 2 now, so he's managed to stay nice and settled in defence. So Josh Sykes forced to do a bit of the dribbling.
Got himself in a little bit of trouble. Dribbled straight into a double team.
Some of the defensive pressure they've been lacking, Kilsyth. Josh Sykes has it now. Does he go one-on-one against Odygy? There'll be a foul. It'll be baseline ball for Eltham. Both Odygy and Sykes hitting the deck.
You can see the Cobras have come out to open this final quarter with some serious defensive intensity. They were trying to double the ball at every opportunity and then prevent the ball from getting back in Doyle's hands.
Odygy has 4 personal fouls. Still 10 minutes to play. Looks like a substitution will occur.
They're going to take him out. They want him down the stretch.
Fairly quiet with the 7 points so far, but he's a man that can score into double figures.
Oh, scoring's not his thing, defence.
Yes, of course.
And rebounding.
And so McKay has it. Patton's there. Now Doyle, mid-range jumper, coming to do the defensive work was Wern. And now he has the ball in offense. Sykes is there for defense. Ooh, a foul called. Foul on Josh Sykes.
Oh,
third personal.
Watch the replay on this one. Can't quite get the angle, but not quite sure what else Mr. Sykes could have done.
Not sure if he just dropped. Yeah, just tried to reach into the basket for a momentary second, and maybe that was what the referee saw.
Certainly the referee did have a better angle than us, so it'll be Wern at the line to shoot 2.
Just has 2 points so far. Can't make me that one. His first free throws for the game. The second one looked better. It's back to 6 points now. Eltham got to find a way to score. Josh Sykes now. Yeah, it was wow, his arm got tangled up. I don't know if he moved it. Coach Justin Schuler not pleased. Foul on, is it Patton?
It was on Patton.
His third, I believe. Yep, third personal foul. Josh Sykes now head to the free throw line. Ooh. Not the most quintessential of free throw shooters is Josh Sykes, but he's definitely perfected his action. He's done his best to perfect his action over this season. That one wasn't as good as the first. It'll be Kilsyth who regained the ball.
It's only his first miss at the charity stripe tonight.
So McDonald now. Patton came to set an on ball. So we have some space underneath. Flicks it out to Von Hoff. Now it's Smith-Milner. Sykes does a good defensive effort. And in the end, it was Smith-Milner who made it work for two. Double teaming up the court is Kilsyth. There'll be a foul there, no doubt. We're saying there was some contact beforehand, which led to the ultimate foul, but it'll be a third team foul for Kilsyth regardless.
Interesting fact, Wern and McKay both attended Eastern Washington. There you go, just throw that out there.
That was impressive. Old friends then. Doyle has it. Pulls up. There was 8 seconds remaining on the shot clock. McKay was there for the offensive rebound. Pulls it down. Jumps in the air. He's fouled. Well. He would have liked to finish, but he'll be happy to go to the line for two.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed. That's a shot he should have finished. But he will get another opportunity at the free throw line. And now it's worth noting the Cobras are at the limit now, so there'll be free throws the rest of the way.
When you're just 1 minute and 40 seconds into a quarter.
But I think that's part and parcel. They're playing a full court, high intense pressure game right now.
It comes with it, doesn't it, when you're going to play it like that? So.
And Eltham have taken full advantage. Well, maybe not quite full advantage. Missing free throws will do that. But it is only 6 points now.
So McDonald has the ball given to Smith-Milner, looking to make it just a 3-point difference.
Great box out by McKay.
Von Hoff's there, hustling to try and get a steal. Takes up 7 seconds to get it over halfway. It's Ava now, looking inside to McKay. 10 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Jock Sykes is circling like a hawk. McKay tries his best for a score.
Little push jump hook was a bit strong.
Oh, it was a nice move by Turner, but Ava did well to stay grounded. Von Hoff.
Smith-Milner flies through for the offensive rebound.
6th rebound for Smith-Milner. Now it's McDonald again. Gives it to Patton. Patton wasn't expecting it. He needed a map to find the ball. And he'll be frustrated with that because that should have been a score, really.
Oh, it was a nice little pick and roll. They nearly nailed it to perfection. Just couldn't handle it. He had got his hands on that. That was an easy two.
It's been hot potato from the start of the night right through to now, and with 7.5 minutes at 6 points the difference. Never been so hot basketball. This is NBL1, game of the round. Eltham taking on Kilsyth. The pass slightly awkward, but they've done well to keep it in, mostly thanks to Jeremy McKay.
Certainly wasn't what they were drawing up or expecting to play, but Wildcats now regroup. They really need a score just to settle.
Haven't had the flow that they had in those first 2 quarters in particular. 6 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Ava has it. He'll need to take a shot in the corner. Tries to draw a foul. Does hit the ring, but the rebound comes straight down to Smith-Milner.
Well, you saw a lot of Eltham bodies just standing around as we see a transition triple nearly go in for Smith-Milner. There was a lot of standing around by the Wildcats on that last offensive possession.
Eva was forced to make a shot that he never really wanted to take, but there wasn't much else going.
Okay, this is better. A lot of movement, and there's a foul.
2 free throws for Ava.
And that's
foul on McDonald.
If he hits these, it's as good as a normal bucket because it's going to be 2 shots every time. So just go aggressive. They're better off doing that than throwing up hopes.
Peter Hawley takes off Smith-Milner. Ovi Magbegor comes in for Simon Bradbury. Magbegor just with 3 points, but he's probably defensively is where he's been his strongest tonight.
And when he's been on, Kilsyth have struggled to score. It's as simple as that.
Just 20 years of age is Ovi Magbegor, playing above his age, above his height at stages as well. Ava makes both free throws, handy free throws, out to 8. So now Kilsyth will need to score. Patton. Turner keeps a handle on. Doyle's there. Given to Odygy now. Odygy. A little bit of a bump, but can't get it to go. Still plenty of time left in this one.
No, we haven't even reached the halfway mark of the quarter.
Seems like it's been going for quite a while, but
it's all those fouls.
Kilsyth. Josh Sykes was flying.
The pass was just a little bit too heavy. Couldn't get it down. It was the right option, though. He had the space.
Okay, has got 4 assists, looking to make it 5. Magbegor for his second denial of the night. Now it's Magbegor with the ball. Finds McKay. Dribbles it into the foot, but Ava manages to gather it. Josh Sykes is probably outmatching his defender in Isaac Turner right now. He's liking his chances. Doyle finds Magbegor. Magbegor with some room, needs to finish. Can't. Sykes pulls down the offensive rebound momentarily. Falls out to Patton. Have they got the numbers here? Transition ball. There'll be a foul on Justin Ava, and it will be Patton who heads to the line for 2. Jeers and cheers from the crowd here at Eltham High School.
There's some very opinionated fans out in the stands.
Good to see some passion. As long as it stays within the guidelines.
Your voice can be heard. I'm all for equality.
Agreed.
Come on, Chris, come shoot your free throws, mate. So some big free throws here for Patton. Trying to keep the Cobras in touch.
Patton and Doyle been chatting throughout the night. Good to see former NBL players just conversing. Crowd just reminding Patton that he definitely did miss that free throw. How we go on the second, it looks better. Substitution made. Smith-Milner re-enters the court, so does Wern. Takes off Patton, leading the scoring for Kilsyth with 21 points, as well as Turner, who's been uncharacteristically quiet throughout. It's in large part to some good defensive efforts by Eltham. Be out of court, Kilsyth will have the ball. Sykes just needs to maintain his head.
He's just been warned, I think, as well.
Justin Ava is just chatting to him and reminding him, just keep it cool. He has been double teed out of a game this season at Frankston, so he does need to be careful. Crowd getting into it. It's an Eltham home game. 7 points is the margin in favour of that home side. Peter Hooley gives it to McDonald. Ava fighting over the screens. Given to Hooley now. Spots up Milner.
Extra passes being made.
Good to see. He hasn't gone from 3 much tonight, and that's probably why from Hooley, because it didn't even look close. But they regather the ball. Wern now. Sykes gets his finger to it.
Count that as a block. He got his fingers to it.
It wasn't particularly pretty, but it was good to see some passes from Kilsyth.
A lot of contact going uncalled.
Doyle has it. Jeremy McKay's calling for it. No foul called. Doyle not particularly pleased. It'll be a foul called. It'll be the 14th foul for Eltham.
Well, there was no foul on that one. Doyle just forced it up, trying to get a foul call.
Magbegor was the recipient of that foul. There's 4 now. Does Magbegor.
Still plenty of time for Kilsyth.
It's very much a mental game for Eltham as well. Sykes needs to be careful. Magbegor's in foul trouble. That doesn't stop his defensive effort though. Oh, it was well done by Magbegor. And Hawley tries to keep it in court. Does so, but ended up at Eltham. Josh Sykes trying to hustle his way towards the basket. Comes off his leg. Just wondering if maybe Eltham will want to take a timeout or something just to calm everyone down, because the tension is building.
Well, McBeggar's defence at the other end was sensational. His ability to hold his ground, stay up straight and not foul was superb.
And after all of this, there still is 4 minutes of basketball in this final quarter. Clock stopping on all whistles. And here's Smith-Milner from 3. Could have brought it back to just 4 points. And as has been the case so many times, a massive anticlimax. So
Doyle taking some air out of the ball.
Ava now from 3. This is huge from Justin Ava. McMichael comes in, gets a tap on it, and retains the ball for Eltham. Kilsyth, they have massive foul troubles in terms of team fouls. Josh Sykes tries an awkward mid-range jumper.
Hooley couldn't find Patton. Toes.
McDonald from 3. It's back to 4 points.
What a big shot by McDonald, but Patton had a huge seal in. Not Patton. Smith-Milner had a huge seal inside. They missed him. So lucky for Cobras fans, McDonald hit that big 3. We have a ball game.
Certainly do. Eltham with the possession. Scoring has really been stifled by Kilsyth. Oh,
that was a foot violation.
Yeah, should be a foot violation. Referee says he couldn't see it.
Even Patton stopped.
I think Smith-Milner would have been happy to just give up the ball.
Everyone stopped. Patton on the bench was like, hang on, what's going on? He's going to check back in. And Odygy checks out. It's had a little bit of everything tonight.
So 14 seconds is what they have to work with on the shot clock. Just under 3 minutes remaining. Doyle puts it up. Can't get it to go. Adam Doyle, he has 14 points, mostly coming in that first half of basketball. McDonald hit a 3 on the last possession. Does he try again? Given to Patton. Magmigor's there for defense. He's been strong defensively as Magmigor forcing. Oh, it was a nice touch in the end by Smith-Milner. Back to just 2 points, just over 2 minutes to go.
Smith-Milner in the right place at the right time just to tap that in. Probably didn't even need to in the end. I think that was going to fall.
Ava will head to the line for 2 free throws.
Certainly the Wildcats have just tightened up in the last 3 or 4 minutes.
McDonald with his second personal foul. No trouble there.
Eltham really struggled to find the bottom of the net. And where it was free-flowing in the first half, it's really tightened up now.
We talk about experience. This Kilsyth side have played it. Well, so many of their players played at the top level of Australian basketball. They've been in this situation so many times. Eltham, as you mentioned, just tightening right up. Just a face guarding warning given to Hooley. So, Justin Ava at the line for 2 free throws. He's had 7 points so far. Looked short, but manages to creep it over.
He willed that one in.
He did. The crowd were blowing, trying to get the ball to fall in. And that one looks better, gets it to go. Back to 4 points, 2 minutes plus change remaining. Doyle's there playing defense right up the court. They are in foul trouble. Defensive fouls for both ends will result in 2 bonus. McDonald has the ball, gives it to Hawley. Doyle's there. Patton rolling to the basket. McDonald, no foul called. Hawley's there in the corner. Spots up Smith-Milner now. He drives, finds Hawley. Hawley from 3, no. Gives it to Smith-Milner. Sykes is there, falls out of hand. Patton tries to finish, gets it to go ultimately for 2.
Eltham giving up some offensive rebounds, and it costs them dearly. Need to get a body on the boards.
Stat that Kilsyth are dominating 18-10 offensive rebounds
and
so far.
Stolen.
Wern gets the steal.
Wern coming up with active hands. It's going to give Kilsyth a chance to potentially tie or even take the lead.
It's 2 points the difference. Hawley has the ball in hand. Given to Smith-Milner, who tries to take the lead. Clench the lead. Oh, it was in and out for Smith-Milner. What a moment that was. A game of inches.
It just feels like Eltham's hanging on, and they've only got 1 more minute to do it.
They had 50 points at half-time. They've scored just 26 since then. Peter Hawley comes through for the steal. Can he finish? Doyle and Sykes are there. Wern now. It's a pretty decent defensive effort in the end. Forced Kilsyth to do a play. Will Kilsyth elect for a three again like they tried on the last one? Hawley throws it up. I don't know what that effort was because it never even looked close for Hawley. Ava tries to draw a foul maybe.
Out of control, nearly throws it away.
It's a pretty good effort by Justin Ava considering. And so
two-possession game.
12 seconds remaining on the shot clock. Wern's there for defense. Do they try and draw a foul and maybe head to the free throw line? They've had the ball stolen from the last two possessions. Doyle finds Ava. Ava from three. McKay was fouled. And so McKay will head to the line for two shots.
It's going to be Patton.
What's happened?
I'm pretty sure it's on Patton.
If we do get a chance to have a look at the replay, you'll see McKay was slung to the ground. Yep, just hooked around the head, and it's been aggressive rebounding, no doubt, but that was probably just a step too far.
Patton's having a lot to say. He's going to be careful or he's going to be teed up. With a timeout call, 10.8 seconds to play.
Yeah, Patton just dragged around, yeah.
And it's the Wildcats by 2.
What did you make of Peter Hawley's shot down this end before?
That's been his career, that little floater. He's able to make it, but that one was way off target.
So, will it be Jerry McKay? I think he'll be at the line. He'll have 2 free throws.
And a chance to possibly ice the game.
Having a look at some of these fantastic highlights from throughout this game. It's been a close one. Got out to 17 at stages in the second. It's back to 9 at half-time. Josh Sykes was performing at his highest level in the first half for a while there. Hasn't been the same in this second. Doyle also hasn't been the same really. Had 14 early on. Kilsyth, it's never been pretty really for Kilsyth, but they've found ways to score. Patton has been a large part, has taken a large part in that with 25 points.
And right now, so McKay wants to hit both. And for Kilsyth, it's a case of do they go up for the quick 2 or do they take the 3? And I think given who's out in the court, you're going to have a McDonald, someone just run, or a Hooley run up the court and they're going to fire a quick 3.
McKay's just shooting 53% from the free throw line, which is lower than most of his teammates at the moment. So the pressure will be on for Jeremy McKay. What can he do at the free throw line? Takes a quick shot, rolls out.
Well, the whole quick 3 still applies. Missed this though. And they don't have to take the quick 3.
Misses it. Josh Sykes manages to get a hand to it. Gives
Offensive
it to McKay.
rebound.
Doyle will try his best to dribble it out. It'll be a foul.
That's an unsportsmanlike.
They'll regain possession. They'll regain possession. And at this stage of the game, that's what it's going to be.
And the way the rule is written, he had no choice but to call that as an unsportsmanlike because there was no play of the ball.
Call. That's right.
Now, and I'll be honest with you, as a basketball over the years, like that's part of the game. That's part of the game, and that's the part that I don't like. Now, I know it's the rule. I just don't like it.
And so what that will mean is that Eltham will have 2 free throws and then, most importantly, regain possession. And Doyle is almost, I think, second in the league in free throw shooting. Very, very rarely misses. Makes the first. Shooting.
So, to ice the game, Doyle. And really, this could be a big springboard for the Wildcats if he hits this in really making a playoff run.
Sting Kilsyth this loss. Be the 5th on the trot if they don't manage to come up with something quite special with 5 seconds remaining because, as I mentioned, they've lost the last 4 now. If they can't find a way here, it'll be 5. Eltham, as you mentioned, having a real go at it. They lost by just a couple of points in overtime to Ringwood, 5 points to Northwest. Yeah, technical foul called on coach Justin Schuller. There'll be 2 free throws now. McKay and Sykes high-fiving just in front of the coach.
I think part of giving that away or part of going on with it is he knows the game's over. He knows this is gone. Doyle with a miss. But all smiles from the Eltham players. They're going to escape this one because really it's been hard work for them in this second half. Ever since they led by 17, it's all been tough work, really. .4 seconds left. The Wildcats are leading by 5. They'll be able to dribble this out.
To Doyle. Doyle will dribble it out, as you say, and that draws to a close. A very impressive performance by the Eltham Wildcats. They led from start to finish, and despite Kilsyth's best efforts at stages, the Eltham Wildcats come out victors by 5 points at home in their third win on the trot. A great performance by Eltham, and Kilsyth will be disappointed with their performance tonight.
Well, they will, and look, certainly in that last quarter, Kilsyth were the better team. They finally started playing. It was mainly through their full court pressure they were applying. They got into early foul trouble in that final quarter and, of course, sending the free throw lines. But that was the catalyst behind their improved play. It was their intensity, and they outscored Eltham 13-9. What a low-scoring quarter. 13-9 in the final term. And they had most of the run of the play, but the Wildcats held on. And I think that's the story here. They held on over a very talented Kilsyth Cobras lineup that just hasn't been able to gel, and now they're on a big losing streak. But on the flip side, Eltham are on a winning streak.
That's right. We'll make the record 5-7 for Eltham. Kilsyth now 6-5. They won their first 6 games. Now have lost their last 5.
And they got Waverley tomorrow, so that becomes an even more important game for them, because they're really starting to fall out of the playoff contention if they lose to that one, because they came into this weekend with the same record as Waverley.
Very important game tomorrow as well then.
And of course then they've got to back up after the Queen's birthday weekend. We'll all take a break next week. Of course all the juniors won't be. They'll be running around tournaments all over the place. But they're going to be backing up against Knox, and Knox have been pretty good over recent weeks as well. So it all gets a bit hard, whereas Eltham, they're going to be at home against the traditional rivals, Diamond Valley.
Got up in overtime to them last time.
Yeah, Saturday night. That's a big one. And, of course, the week after Queen's birthday. And then they got Knox on the Sunday. So they'll have Knox coming off a game against Kilsyth. That could really play into Eltham's favour.
This is a real good opportunity for Eltham now to stamp their presence. Runners up in the Big V competition last season. What can they do in this inaugural NBL1 season?
So for the winners tonight, Jeremy McCabe finished with 20 points, 8 of 12 from the field, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. Did a bit of everything. Doyle, 17 points. He was super impressive, particularly in that third term. Getting out in transition, he had 4 assists as well. 16 points to Josh Sykes with 9 rebounds, 3 blocks, 3 huge blocks at that.
Yeah, big time.
And, you know, there was certainly contributors everywhere for Eltham tonight. But for Kilsyth, a big game by Chris Patton. 25 points, 12 rebounds. He was phenomenal. Almost a one-man show for 3/4 of the game. And then we got 13 points from McDonald off the bench. And Smith Milner, 12 points and 8 rebounds. He was limited by early foul trouble. But as I said, the story of the game is Eltham. They're on a winning streak.
There certainly are all smiles at the Eltham Wildcat then. And what that means is that Eltham will head into the next game they have, which is in 2 weeks' time, with 3 wins on the trot. As you mentioned, some good individual performances by Kilsyth, but not the team performance that they need if they want to be a finals side. And what that means is that Kilsyth will have to come up against Waverley tomorrow, and with a chance to go 6-6 if they go down. But what matters tonight is that the Eltham Wildcats have got up by 5 points. It was a 4-quarter effort for the Eltham Wildcats. It took everything they've got, and in the end they walk away victors by 5 points. It was a great performance by the home side, and they'll be very pleased with their efforts. My name's Tyson Whelan, being joined once again by Damien Arsenis from the Pick and Roll, and it's been an absolute pleasure to bring this broadcast to you from Eltham. We will be back in just a few weeks' time here at Eltham against Diamond Valley in what is set to be an absolute thrilling encounter once again. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the 2 matches we brought to you tonight. To the line for one more. They needed it, Kilsyth.
In the post.
Now. Yep. Josh Sykes flying through the keyway. He's hanging.
The post.
Yep. Josh Sykes flying through the keyway. He's hanging. Massive hops on Josh Sykes. As always, Patton now looking for a three, and he makes it. Pulling up, it was Turner. Gets it to go, mid-range jumper. That's the start now, sets the screen as McKay. Toby Smith-Milner's there, outsizing Doyle, of course. Bradbury in the dying seconds of the shot clock puts it in for 2 points. Spots up Otoji in the corner, looking to do a similar thing to what McKay did. Tipping it in, it was Patton who has 8. Continue the momentum. Now Smith-Milner tries again from a similar spot, and this time he's found his range. Gets it to... Oh, it was a good pass from Ava. Assist of the night to Doyle, who puts it in for 2 points.
Able to make them pay on the Sunday.
I was watching it from here at the Youth League. Okay, passed in the end. Sykes with the slam, draws the foul. Okay, passed in the end. Sykes with the slam, draws the foul.
Sykes.
Another solid performance. Hooley now. Oh, Ovi Magbegor gets involved in with the block on that particular possession, mate. Ben Waldron, Whelan picked the pocket and puts it in for 2. McDonald has it. Drives to the basket. McKay was there, but he did well, did McDonald. McDonald has it. Drives to the basket. McKay was there, but he did well, did McDonald. Now Von Hoff looking to find a score.
Players flying everywhere.
Spreading in offense is Kilsyth. Stepping back, fading away, gets it to go for 2 points.
Down, it was the right option though. He had the space.
Okay, has got 4 assists, looking to make it 5. Magbegor for his second denial of the night.
Hooley couldn't find Patton. Toby.
McDonald from 3. It's back to 4 points. Just to get a hand to it. Gives
Offensive
it to McKay.
rebound.
Doyle will try his best to dribble it out. It'll be a foul.
That's an unsportsmanlike.
They'll regain possession. They'll regain possession. And at this stage of the game, to Northwest. Yeah, technical foul called on coach Justin Schuller. There'll be 2 free throws now. McKay and Sykes high-fiving just in front of the coach.
I think